The innocent man executed. What happens when the system makes the gravest mistake of all, executing an innocent man? This is the haunting story of Cameron Todd Willingham, a father accused of murdering his 3 children. It was December 23, 1991, in Corsicana, Texas. A small, one-story home went up in flames. Inside were 3 little girls, 2-year-old Amber and 1-year-old twins, Carmen and Cameron. Their father, Todd Willingham, woke to the sound of crackling fire and the screams of his children. Neighbors rushed outside as flames engulfed the home. Todd stumbled out, covered in soot, shouting for help. He tried to run back in, but the smoke and heat drove him back. Firefighters later found the children's bodies in their bedroom. They hadn't survived. In the aftermath, Todd's grief looked unusual to some. Witnesses said he seemed too calm, even cold. Instead of breaking down, he cursed and muttered under his breath. He didn't cry in public. For investigators, his behavior was suspicious. Fire inspectors searched the house and concluded the blaze was arson. They pointed to patterns on the floor they believed showed gasoline had been poured. They noted cracked glass in the windows, which they said indicated an accelerant. Forensic science at that time was far less advanced, but their report painted Todd as the prime suspect. Within weeks, police arrested him. The district attorney argued that Todd had intentionally set the fire to kill his own children. His supposed motive, that he wanted to be free of family responsibilities. Todd, who had a history of small-time run-ins with the law and a reputation for a temper, was an easy target. The jury didn't sympathize. In 1992, he was convicted of capital murder and sentenced to death. Over the years, Todd maintained his innocence. From behind bars, he wrote letters, insisting he had loved his daughters and would never harm them. His appeals were denied, one after another. The courts trusted the original fire investigation, but science was catching up. In the early 2000s, leading fire experts began reviewing old arson cases. And what they found was shocking. Many of the signs of arson used for decades, like burn patterns and melted aluminum, were not signs of arson at all. They were just normal results of a house fire. When independent experts looked at Todd's case, they concluded the fire had been accidental. There was no evidence of gasoline, no proof of accelerants, just a tragic, deadly blaze. Even more damning, witnesses who had testified against Todd later recanted or were discredited. One jailhouse informant admitted he had lied in exchange for leniency in his own case. Despite this, Texas officials pressed forward. In 2004, after 12 years on death row, Cameron Todd Willingham was strapped to a gurney in the Huntsville execution chamber. He maintained his innocence until his final breath. His last words included a message to his ex-wife. He swore he hadn't killed their children. Then the drugs were administered. He was pronounced dead at 6:20 p.m. But the story didn't end there. Months later, one of the country's top fire scientists officially declared the Willingham fire was not arson. Other investigators agreed. In fact, nearly every piece of evidence used to convict him was based on outdated, flawed science. The execution of Cameron Todd Willingham has since become one of the most infamous examples of wrongful execution in American history. His case is cited by human rights groups, lawyers, and scientists as proof that the death penalty carries a fatal risk, the state killing an innocent person. For Todd's family, the pain is unending. They lost 3 children in a fire, and then lost a son and brother to a justice system that refused to listen. And for many Americans, the question lingers. If it happened once, how many other times has it happened? How many other executed men and women may have been innocent all along? The story of Cameron Todd Willingham forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Justice, when rushed or built on shaky ground, can destroy the very lives it claims to protect. In the end, 3 children lost their lives in a fire, and their father lost his to an execution that never should have happened. An innocent man executed by the state. Do you call that justice?